Dear students, welcome to the session on literary criticism. Today, we are moving to the second module of your textbook. The second module discusses neoclassical, romantic, Victorian and modern criticism. Today, let us have an introductory talk on the neoclassical age. By and large, neoclassicism was a reaction against Restoration and Puritanism. The age marked by the restoration of the Stuart king Charles II to the throne of England is called the Restoration period. Restoration age is known by extravagance, moral depravity, corruption, indecency, uncontrolled passion, extramarital affairs and irrational sentimentalism. And Puritan age is known for fanaticism, strict religious observances and hatred towards all entertainment. Neoclassicism was totally different from Restoration and Puritanism. Neoclassicism emerged as a result of the rediscovery of the classical works of ancient Greece and Rome. Neoclassicism refers to the Western literary movement that drew inspiration from the classical arts and culture of ancient Greek and Rome. The classical works were taken as the standards of literary art. Latin poets and critics were taken as the best models and standards. Since the English poets and critics of this age tried to imitate the classical masters, we call them neoclassicists. Now, let us see how the neoclassical age got the name Augustan Age. During the reign of Augustus, Romans had a brilliant literary period which included the great works by Virgil, Horace and Ovid. The English writers of the neoclassical period consciously imitated these Augustan writers, and thus the neoclassical age got another name, that is the Augustan Age. Neoclassical period is also known as the age of prose and reason. During this period, several didactic works were written and published. Didactic means those works which tried to teach or educate the public. Such didactic literary works includes satires, essays, letters, fables, melodrama, and even pamphlets. All the writers emphasized precision, accuracy, correctness, and perfection, finishing in their literary works. What was most important in the neoclassical period was logic, wit, fancy, and reason. So the literary works of neoclassical period generally lack in passion and emotion, and it is said to be a literature of intelligence, a utilitarian kind of literature. And the poetry which existed in those days was generally prosaic poetry. Hope you know what is prosaic poetry. Poetry which is not rhythmic. Poetry which sounds like prose. So very often the poetry written during the neoclassical age was poetry of argument, poetry of politics, poetry of personalities. It was totally different from the style of romantic poets. Traditionalism of the neoclassical period. It refers to the strict adherence to the rules and laws of the classical masters. Literature was conceived to be a set of skills to be perfected by long study, adaptation, and practice of known and tested means for the achievement of artistic excellence. Now, let us see what is neoclassical humanism. Human beings are the integral part of the society. Therefore, they should be the subject matter of literature. Poetry should be a reflection of human actions, a mirror held up to nature. So the neoclassicists advocated art for humanity's sake and not art for art's sake. And they gave emphasis on the human characteristics, the experiences, thoughts, feelings, and aptitudes of human beings. So subject matter was human-centered, and the function of literature, they believed, is to instruct and please human beings. Neoclassicism at large emphasized balance, restraint, and order. They championed reason over passion. Above all, human being was their prime concern. On this slide, you can find the names of the major writers of neoclassical age: John Dryden, Alexander Pope, Joseph Addison, Jonathan Swift, Samuel Johnson, Oliver Goldsmith, and Edmund Burke. On this slide, you can find two famous quotes, one by Alexander Pope and the other by Samuel Johnson. I think these quotes are proof enough for the characteristic features of neoclassical literary works. So today we have had a general introduction on the neoclassical age, and in the next session we will be moving on to an extract from the work, An Essay of Dramatic Poesy by John Dryden. Thank you.